Wow, that's really loud. All the wind on I need a windscreen on this now. Good morning, everyone. How is everyone this morning?
Good.
We are a mighty crowd. I would say we are small but mighty, but we are great and mighty. And welcome to Sunday morning. Let's start. Stefan.
All right. You may recall that there are instructions in this song.
Ready? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Are you ready? Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. All right. So, good morning. Remain standing for a moment. You weren't expecting me to say that. I want to, let's start off by turning to our neighbors and just reminding them of their magnificence. So I want to let you know, you are magnificent and you are magnificent. So let's tell our neighbors, you're magnificent. Yes, you are magnificent. And everyone online, you are magnificent. So grateful that you've joined us this morning. That young man in the back, you are magnificent indeed. So again, welcome to a glorious morning here in Tucson, where my Canadian husband has decided it feels cold. It is official. He's a Tucsonan. Welcome to Tucson New Thought. We are here to create a world that works for everyone. That is our vision here at Tucson New Thought, and we do this through our mission, which is to provide practical tools for spiritual and personal transformation. And I keep saying, let's get rid of the spiritual transformation because we're not transforming into spirit. We already are spirit. And this is a very fundamental, important aspect of who we are. And as we recognize this more and more and more, the personal transformation takes care of itself. And it's grounded in the consciousness of love. And so let's all decide today, good morning, let's all decide today to be love. What do you say? What do you say? Let's just be love. Everyone at any point of their spiritual path is welcome here. And I am so grateful that you've decided to spend your Sunday morning here for a little bit of spiritual nourishment and a little spiritual food, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Let's take some time to go to that place of center. I'm going to invite us all to just take a moment to breathe. And if it's comfortable and you'd like to close your eyes, you're welcome to do so. Just allowing the focus to fall to the breath. Settling into the understanding that there is nothing that we need to make happen. We just need to allow. The nature of the breath is allowing. It simply happens. It simply happens. It is a deep, exquisite expression of the divine nature of all things, the flow of life, the easeful in and out, deepening into that awareness. With each exhale, the body is more relaxed and at peace. We simply inhale and exhale, in and out, in and out. Allowing the awareness to come to that focus within, to that place inside each and every one of us that is pure light and untouched by any circumstance outside of the perception of self. Recognizing that light as a point of peace and a point of power. And the light expands from that point, filling the physical being, expanding beyond the physical, expanding beyond the boundaries of our imagination, expanding and expanding. We are fully immersed in and as this divine thing called love. In every heart there is the seed of peace, and our conscious, purposeful mind waters the seed and allows the course of our experience to grow as infinite peace. Every attribute of the divine is the attributes we carry and express. Love, light, life, peace, power, beauty, wisdom, knowing that that which we are seeking is the very thing that has been causing us to seek. We can rest assured in the knowledge that it is now found, for it was never lost. Imagine with each breath that we are breathing peace. Breathing in the peace that everyone here shares. Breathing out the peace that you have to share. This room becomes immersed in peace. The peace expands beyond the sense of self, beyond these rooms, beyond this building, beyond the city, beyond and beyond and beyond. And our point of purposeful peace is now the way of the world. This is the power of our conscious awareness. Now gently affirm within, using your inner voice, I am here. I am fully present. I am open to a positive, inspiring experience for myself, for this entire group, and for everyone with whom I make contact throughout my day and throughout my life. final easy breath, I invite you to open your eyes. That was beautiful, Stefan. I just want to take it in, that moment. I invite you to provide for me, please, a number. 431. I go up to 425. 413. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to see, because there is a 431. I just want to see what's on that page. Well, maybe there's a reason, and I should just allow it. All right. You know, I'm going to go for it. 1, 2, 3. A number between 1 and 3. So you want me to go to the next page and count? 3? Part of the reason that I tend not to go past 425 is because 425 actually, or 423, sorry, it's between 25 and 423. Page 423 is what is listed as the final conclusion, which is the teaching. And then the next section is teachings from the New Testament. And I tend to not go to the New Testament just because it's not real. I mean, it is in here, but we tend to not go there so much. But now maybe God is allowing a higher idea to come through. So this is the third paragraph on page 431 with the title, How God Forgives. Unfortunately, I don't have a Bible to reference because there actually it references Matthew chapter 6, verses 14 and 15, but I don't know what those are. But you have a Bible? Okay. Matthew 6, 14 and 15. But I'll read this paragraph. We are told that God will forgive us after we have forgiven others. This is a direct statement and one that we should ponder deeply. Can God forgive until we have forgiven? If God can work for us only by working through us, then this statement of Jesus stands true and is really a statement of the law of cause and effect. We cannot afford to hold personal animosities or enmities against the world or individual members of society. All such thoughts are outside the law and cannot be taken into the heavenly consciousness. Love alone can beget love. People do not gather roses from thistles. So, because I want to make sure it's on the microphone, if you'd like to come up here and read it on the microphone, otherwise I will. Catherine, everyone.
Morning. So we're at
So chapter 6, verses 14 and 15.
13 and 14,
14 and 15, so just that very last.
Oh. Or if you
Oh, can you bring up the, sorry, thank you. And take out the reverb for this, if you would, please.
For if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their sins, your Father will not forgive your sins.
Oh, can I hold on to this? Because I just want to be able to reference it. Brilliant. Brilliant. So I'm going to read this again from, For if you forgive other people when they sin against you, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their sins, your Father will not forgive your sins. Now, in the teaching, we don't differentiate between the Father and the Son, except to say that the Father is the infinite creative source of all things. And it's a gender-specific kind of a thing, and we don't think of it in terms of gender, which is neither here nor there. The Father is that place within which is the creative source of all things. Everything that comes to be starts with that energy of creation. That's what we refer to as the Father. When we teach the creative process, and this tweaks people, because we say that spirit, the Father, the masculine energy, impresses upon the soul, the feminine energy, to create whatever it creates. Well, if you think about it just in terms of biology, that is kind of the way it works, right? Okay, we're not going to go down that road too much. But the Father, I've lost it now, so don't. But the Father, here's the deal. If we are in a place of unforgiveness, which is what we're talking about, if we are in a place of unforgiveness, that is the consciousness that starts, right? And everything that follows and flows forth from that consciousness will not be to your liking. Trust me. This is why forgiveness is so important. Forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. In fact, my previous spiritual center, and I don't use this as much here, but where I was raised in ministry, and then I adopted this in Toronto, and I have not quite yet adopted this here, although I use it in my languaging, you'll start to recognize as I say this. They basically have a vision statement that goes like this: love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Forgiveness is so important as a concept and as a construct that they have made it part of their vision statement. Love only, forgive everything. So this is a consciousness that we begin with. The Father in that place of forgiveness, the Father consciousness in that place of forgiveness. As we allow that to transmute itself and become our experience, which is all consciousness is ever doing, then we can live in that place of utter, infinite forgiveness. So then it goes to this. What in your experience might you be holding on to that you cannot forgive, or you feel you cannot forgive? There are things that come to mind for me in that. I recognize that there are places where I feel I have a challenge in forgiveness. And so what that brings up is this idea. I have the opportunity at every moment to increase my experience of life as love when I'm in a place of forgiveness. But I will always create a block to that if I don't live in forgiveness. I will always be blocked if I don't live in forgiveness. This is hard, right? It's hard to hear because we want to hold on to those things that we think we can't forgive. But I guarantee you, the moment you resonate in and allow yourself to go to that place of forgiveness, life changes. That's what he's talking about here. We are told that God will forgive us after we have forgiven others. This is a direct statement and one that we should ponder deeply. Can God forgive until we have forgiven? This is the clincher. If God can work for us only by working through us, then the statement of Jesus stands true. Forgiveness starts in consciousness. Forgiveness starts at the level of spirit. Forgiveness starts not at the level of the relative, but at the level of spirit. We cannot afford to hold personal animosities or enmities against the world or individual members of society. All such thoughts are outside the law and cannot be taken into the heavenly consciousness. Remember last week or 2 weeks ago or every week that I say it? When I talk about the idea of heaven and hell as not places we're ever going to, but as consciousness, as states of mind, and we are either living in heaven or we are living in hell right here and right now. That's what we're talking about. This is the moment to forgive. This moment, right here, right now, is the moment to forgive. And it simply takes a decision. It just takes the decision to stand in forgiveness to allow your heart to be filled with forgiveness. And it changes everything. Love alone can beget love. Love alone can beget love. This is why forgiveness is important. And it's perfect because this is a great lead-in to what today is all about. So, that is the random reading and reflection for today. Let's allow ourselves to center in that, in this moment and in every moment. Yes, please.
When I forget, we are one, and I regret things that I've done. I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. Right here, in this perfect present moment, I am free. Each and every one of us is free. For the infinite nature of this thing, this divine loving presence, this divine loving energy, the infinite nature is pure freedom. And this is who and what we are, each and every one of us, perfect individualized expressions of the infinite divine. We are living its life as our own. We are experiencing its love as our own. We allow ourselves to go to that place of pure forgiveness. For in infinite mind, there is nothing ever to forgive. For the perfect flow of life is always moving forward, always in that place of forward momentum. And so I know that each and every one of us is perfectly attuned and aligned in this moment, right here and right now, with love, as love. That we are each of us allowing pure forgiveness to take over. This is the consciousness from which we create here and now and forevermore. Starting here, starting right now. With this understanding, for this understanding, and resonant with the love of the divine in my heart, I am in deep gratitude for this teaching, for this understanding, and for the love that we all share. Recognizing that it is a high vibrational energy that is filling this room, is expanding beyond this room, and touches the lives of every single person within the sound of my voice, every single person online, every single person, whether they are here present live in the moment or watching in the archives, every single person is touched by this love and affected by forgiveness. For forgiveness is the cause, love is the effect. Trusting this and knowing this, I simply relax, release, let go, and allow the flow of the divine spirit. I let it be so, as together we say, and so it is. When things go wrong and my way is dark, and when I lose my song and life breaks my heart, I go within my heart and soul. I start again, knowing I'm whole. God is right here where I am. I am right where I should be. As I fill my mind with peace, I feel it washing over me. God is right here where I am, flowing in and out through me. In this moment, I am free. In this moment, I am free.
Today feels very reflective in a different way. Like, I don't know. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I'm going to invite my husband, Dane, to the stage to help me with our ceremony of lighting the flames of faith. Again, we honor all faith traditions, all religions, and all paths to a deeper understanding of knowing the divine within through this ceremony. For each candle that we light, we are honoring and recognizing the fact that they all come from the one. Every single path, every single tradition is connected in and as spirit. It all comes from this one infinite energy and wholeness, and it is the source of all creation. And so we light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the divine will of love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. We light a candle to represent the healing of any circumstance that requires divinity to be revealed. And the final candle we light is your candle. For whatever is in your mind, in the here and now, that requires illumination, this is for you. Thank you. I'm having a moment. The moment is this. The moment is at my day job at the bakery. Everybody, like, this is my job. Like, this is my vocation. This is my passion, what I do here. And I do some other things to help pay the bills, right? But at the bakery, I'm the infinitely optimistic, I'm the infinitely smiley, I'm the infinitely happy person at the bakery. And there are people who go, how do you maintain that all the time? I said, well, first of all, it's just who I am. And that's number one. Number two, it's a decision. And then I joked with them because we have music that plays throughout the bakery all the time. And I always go in the front and I hear a song and it gets in my head. And then I go into the back of the kitchen and I sing the song out loud. And everybody says, gosh, your life is a musical. And I say, yes, it is. And anyone who thinks that Broadway musicals do not exist in real life clearly does not live with me. I love music. And this is one of my favorite songs ever.
When I find myself singing in the right key, it'll even be better. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
Thank you, Stefan. Thank you. Well, it's interesting that the reading today talked about the Father, and this song talks about the Mother. Oh, universe, oh, dear universe, you never cease to amaze and delight my experience of life in the perfection that is always unfolding. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Let it be. Here's what comes up just in this unprepared moment. That if the Father is the Spirit and the Mother is the soul, and that together they create, which is what we teach, that when I allow the Spirit to resonate as the soul, creation takes care of itself, and I don't need to get in the way of thinking that I need to make anything happen. Let it be. Let it be. But boy, I have a real bad habit of getting in the way. Do you have a bad habit of getting in the way? Yeah, right? Like, I think we all do. What is it that you do? What are the things, like, what are the habitual things that are always happening in your mind that get in the way of the life you want to experience, the life you want to create? Your ego. Oh, my ego, too. I have a very healthy ego, too. I'm going to put that out there. I was an actor for 20 some odd years. I have a very healthy ego because you have to have quite an ego to be in that profession, I think. And it's not and that's only so that you can survive the 90% of the rejection that you get when you're trying to get a job. Because you still have to walk out of every audition, even if you think, oh, I really bombed that audition, you still have to walk out and say, you know what, I'm still the best I can be. That's a healthy ego. And actually, it's an ego that is grounded in this consciousness. Ego meaning I am. The infinite I is the I am that I am. That's what Moses found out on Mount Sinai when he asked the burning bush, what shall I call you? And I am that I am. But that's true for all of us. We are the I am that I am, each and every one of us, because there is no separation between that infinite divine and us. It's a Bible day. It is a Bible day. I'm like, wow, New Testament, Old Testament, I'm just going to go for it today. I am that I am. I am that I am. And I'm and it's also a Popeye day. I am what I am, right? But when I forget who I am, remember there's the three parts. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. When I forget what I am, when I forget who I am, that's when I experience those times of trouble. When I resonate with the Father and the Mother in combination, I can let it be. Let it be. Those are deep, deep, deep words of wisdom, right? That is the answer to all life's ills. Let it be. That's hard, though. So how do we begin to take charge of that resonant thing, that resonant place that says, I know who I am, and I allow that to take over so that my life gets to become what I would like it to become? How do I do that? How? There actually is a how. We teach a how. If we didn't teach a how, then our mission statement would be erroneous. Our mission statement being to provide practical tools for personal and spiritual transformation. To provide practical tools, that's a how. So here's the tool that I will offer you. Pray. Pray. The song in and of itself is a prayer. It is allowing ourselves to come into that place of alignment. Now, all prayer is, and we teach prayer with two ways of describing it. We say it is affirmative prayer. We also call it spiritual mind treatment. I tend to move away from the term spiritual mind treatment in some cases just because it sounds very clinical, and that was purposeful on the part of Ernest Holmes, who is the founder of this branch. It was purposeful to say, I would like it to be clinical and scientific. I mean, it is called the science of mind after all. So he was looking for a way to say it's clinical, it's scientific, and we're going to utilize it in a very particular manner. Actually, we're going to utilize it in a very particular manner. That's actually kind of what he sounds like if you've ever heard a recording of him. We're going to utilize it in a very particular way, and we're going to create a method for prayer so that it can be the most effective and most efficient. So we teach prayer in 5 steps. Recognition, unification, declaration, gratitude, release. Those are the 5 steps. Don't worry about the steps right now. Those are the things you learn when you take classes. You learn how to pray, right? We actually have a whole book, How to Pray Effectively. Recognition, unification, I almost skipped, declaration, gratitude, and release. The most important aspects of prayer are those first two steps, because if you really get those, the rest of the prayer takes care of itself. Recognition is that thing I've been saying all today. I am what I am. I am that which is. Recognition is recognizing that there is nothing other than divinity. Everything that exists is part of this infinite divinity. There is nothing separate from it, because here's the logical part. If there were something separate from divinity, then divinity would not be infinite. It would be finite. You cannot separate divinity from anything else, because then you're saying there are two parts. Well, that's not infinite. There's only infinite divinity. So if that is the case, that's step one. Divinity is all there is. God is all there is. Love is all there is. This infinite creative energy is all there is. That's number one. That means number two, unification, which I don't like to use anymore. I want to use the term identification, because I can now say, if that's all there is, I can identify myself as that divine power and recognize and see it in the faces of every single person I encounter. Everyone is divine. Everyone is God. Everyone is love. And it is the great equalizer. It's another thing I love to make sure that I say all the time. When I know who I am and I know who you are, there is nothing that separates us. We are perfection. I may not like the activities you undertake in your life. You may not like the activities I undertake in my life. That does not mean that you are not God. Just means that your activities may not be something that I am in alignment with. And I experience people whose activities I'm not in alignment with. But I still look at them and I say, that is God doing its thing, living its experience of life through and as this person. There are activities and experiences in my life that I don't like about myself. What? But I am in a place of allowing myself to go to self-reflection, so that when I recognize that there is something that I don't like, I know that there is one person who can change it, and that is me. I can't expect anyone else to do the work for me. I must do the work myself. So the answer to this, to the experience of life when we find ourselves in times of trouble, is prayer, spiritual mind treatment. Aligning ourselves with the infinite knowing that there is one power, one presence, one infinite creative resource. That's all there is. And it is who and what we are. That is what we are. We are not separate from it. We are creating our lives based on that premise. The first two steps set up the premise for the experience and expression of life. God is all there is. That is who and what I am. That is who and what you are. When the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. There is still a light that shines on me. That light is here. The light is here. Light actually is everywhere. You know, last week I talked about the celebration of light, and I talked about Hanukkah, and I talked about Bodhi Day. The Bodhi tree. There was I can't think of it now, neither here nor there, in this particular moment. That light that shines is coming from within and illuminates all the dark places. It's also why I like to say that we light this final candle for whatever is required, whatever requires illumination in your mind. That this is your opportunity. Hey, John, it is your opportunity to allow the light. There's nothing you need to do to make it happen. It is there already. But sometimes we just need to be reminded. So light is everywhere. This week we will celebrate winter solstice, right? So the days have been getting, the daylight, the funny thing is the days haven't been getting shorter. They're still 24 hours. But the experience of light through those days has been shortening, right? And it's less pronounced here. It was a lot more pronounced in Canada, I'll tell you. As the days, seemingly, as the hours of sunlight seem to get shorter, we sometimes allow ourselves to go to that place of darkness. You know, have you ever heard of seasonal affective disorder? I actually really feel like I experienced that in Canada because I grew up in Tucson where it's not as pronounced. And, you know, you get up there and it's dark a lot in the winter. And you can forget the light. You can forget the light. It's like I would leave to go to work in the dark, and I would leave work to go home in the dark, and that just sucked. Now I work in a bakery. I leave to go to work in the dark, but I get to leave when it's still light out. So we celebrate the winter solstice this week, and the great celebration for many cultures is that the solstice is a representation that now we're going to experience more light and more light and more light as the days pass. And so let us honor that as a representation of the light within, that we get to celebrate more light and more light and more light, expressing and expanding itself as us. So what is the challenge in all of this? The challenge in all of this, frankly, is to just do it. Just do it. Yes, we teach a particular method of prayer, and it works for you if it works for you. But you know what I say is even if you don't know the method of prayer, find what works and just do it. You are the ones, each and every one of us are the ones who are in charge of our own experience of life. No one else is going to fix anything for us. There is no God out there that is going to fix anything for us because it is the Father within that does the work. Each and every one of us is in charge of our own experience of life. We are each of us in charge. I won't say destiny because that would imply that there is some kind of predetermined way of being. No, we're in charge of our own expression. The challenge is to just do it. Ernest Holmes wrote this: the person, ready? This is one of my favorite quotes. The person who can throw himself with a complete abandon into that limitless sea of receptivity, having cut loose from all apparent moorings, is the one who will always receive the greatest reward. Today's talk title, Cut Loose the Moorings. What are the moorings? The moorings are the things that hold us back. The moorings are the things that we cannot forgive. The moorings are the things from our past that are so resonant in our hearts that they're holding us back from the magnificent experience and expression of life. Cut loose the moorings. What was I saying this morning? There was something that I was talking about over there, and I said, I need to use this when I get up, and now I can't remember what it is. Cut loose the moorings of thinking that I can't remember what needs to be remembered in the moment. That's how it works. That in and of itself, what I just experienced and expressed right in front of you, is a form of prayer. To say, I don't need to hold on to what I thought needed to be. That's a mooring. I can let it go and move forward because I am experiencing life right here and now. There is no past. And that's hard for many people to accept, that there is no past. And then people go, but I've experienced things, and that is resonant in my mind as a past experience, only because we hold on to it. Thomas Troward said, principle is not bound by precedent. The infinite nature of the divine, that infinite creative source, is not bound by anything from the past. But boy, we like to drag that past along, and allow it to affect our present. And by affecting our present, it affects our future. So are you ready to cut loose the moorings? Let those things go? What are your moorings? That's the bigger question. What are your moorings? Can you identify them? This is the spiritual work. This is the practical spiritual work, to begin to start to look at our lives and say, I love this, or I really don't love this, and recognizing that there is something that can be done about it. This is a teaching that is an embodiment of knowing that we each have power. I talked in the Was it in the treatment? See, I can't even remember now. I'm like, was it in the treatment? Was it in something else I said? I talked about the attributes of the divine: peace, power, love, beauty, joy, love, light, life, peace, power, beauty, joy, wisdom, knowing. Power being one of the attributes of the divine. If we are divine, then it is our power as well, because there's no separation. When we recognize that we have the power to create the lives we want to create and actually act upon that power, with that power, from the consciousness and the viewpoint of love, infinite love, then we can do no wrong. We can do no wrong. The past is not a binding principle for us moving forward. The present is only limited by you if you're consistently living in the past. Cut loose the moorings. The future, if we are living in the past, may be riddled with anxiety. Anxiety is all about fear of the future, right? But we usually equate that fear based on something from our past. When we let that go, we can actually let the anxiety go and flow forth into the expression and experience of life in a way that he says we all will have the greatest reward. When we abandon ourselves completely into that limitless sea of receptivity. So there's the receptivity, the feminine nature, Mother Mary. The feminine nature is that sea of receptivity because the law, the soul, knows only to receive and deliver, which then sounds like it's subject to the man, which is why a lot of people have a really hard time with saying, the spirit is the masculine and the soul is the feminine. But you know what? The masculine requires the feminine. It's all one thing. There is no separation. When we allow ourselves to recognize that we are that limitless sea of receptivity, life again gets better. The only thing that holds us back is the past. That's it. The only thing that holds us back is the past and the decisions that we have made and continue to make about it in our present. But why do we hold on to these things? Well, I'll tell you why. The unknown is scary. Because what we're saying is, I need to be able to look at my past so that I have an idea of how it is going to be in the future, because that makes me feel comfortable. It's less scary. The unknown is scary. I get it. Tucson New Thought, this community was a scary idea for me. It took a huge leap of faith to allow myself to jump into that unknown sea of receptivity and say, I'm going to live with complete abandon and trust that what I would like to experience in life as a spiritual director of a community that is growing and growing and growing and on the verge of magnificence, even though that magnificence lives right here and now. It's not coming, it is now. I had to let go of the moorings. I had to let go of the way I thought things should be done to allow pure spirit to express itself in the way things are unfolding. I had to let go of my attachment to an outcome, to thinking it needed to be a certain way. I needed to let go of my fear. Oh, this is a big one. I needed to let go of my fear of judgment by others. I am a minister who is credentialed originally by Religious Science International. That is the credentialing institution. That is the organization that credentialed me as a minister after 6 years of study. That organization is now called the Centers for Spiritual Living. And there are centers for spiritual living all over, mostly in North America, but all over the world. There's a Center for Spiritual Living Tucson. I know some of you have been and experienced the Center for Spiritual Living Tucson. The reason that I bring this up is because I had to let go of my fear of judgment by others when I decided that as an ordained CSL minister that I was not going to align this organization with that organization. And I got a lot of pushback. I got a lot of pushback from the people in power. And I found it very interesting because my objection is not to the teaching. We're teaching the same thing. My objection has been to business aspects, the way the organizations are run, and the requirements that would be placed upon me to be a part of that organization that I did not agree with. The reason I didn't agree with it is because I felt that the requirements from a business, the business requirements were actually outside the realm of our philosophy. And it comes down to this. It's going to be really simple. I didn't want to take on the branding. I didn't want to take on their logo. I didn't want to take on these things. But to be aligned and affiliated with that organization, I would have to have taken all of these things on. I wanted to have my own name. I wanted to have my own identity. I wanted this community to have its own name and identity. And that is in alignment with the teaching that says that we are all individualized, unique expressions, and we should be living as such. And the organization is saying, yes, that is true, but you need to align with our branding and our logo and our identity. Well, then we are not unique. That's really the biggest thing. I just didn't want to take that on. So I said, great. I am in a place of opportunity where I'm going to take a leap of faith into the unknown, and I'm going to create my own organization, go after my own 501c3 status, go after all of these things that would be conferred upon me if I just aligned with the organization. So I've had to create a lot of things from scratch. But you know what the great benefit of that is? That I really, truly have been able to settle into what I have as a vision and allow it to blossom. Without limitation. Without limitation. Is this unfoldment complete? No, because unfoldment is never complete, ever. We are constantly on the path. We are never at a destination. To live in faith requires peace of mind. And so I am resolute and resonant in my place, my peace of mind, because I know that peace of mind is not something that I obtain, it is something that I decide upon. I choose to live in peace now. Right here, right now. We're always unfolding. We are always unfolding. The question then becomes, are we allowing ourselves to unfold in limitlessness, or are we deciding to be limited? Limitation is a decision. You can make another decision. You are the ever-present unfoldment of the divine. So cast off your moorings and live with complete abandon. Namaste. I feel like I should do a trust fall now. Tucson New Thought is a community that is supported through your generosity, through what it is you offer the center in terms of your tithe, your investment, your commitment, your in whatever you choose to call it. Whatever you choose to call your gift, trust and know that it is a gift of God in action, that it is a gift of love, and it is always flowing forth through this time and this place to create greater expressions of this vision and of this mission. And I know that we are going to do amazing things because we're already doing amazing things. So as we celebrate givingness today, I want to remind you that there are many ways to give. You can give in person. Dane's going to pass the basket around. You can also give. We take cards. If you're online, click the link, and you can participate in the experience of giving as well, right here and right now, remembering that money is love in action, and I honor your investment in the vision and mission of Tucson New Thought. I'm so grateful for your support. So let's read together the divine consciousness statement, which is on your program. Allowing ourselves to resonate with the consciousness of love as we read this together. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that spirit is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so as the basket goes around, thank you, Dane. A couple of things I want to let you know. As always, we are always looking for volunteers to support as greeters or ushers, also to provide hospitality. And if you'd like, I think there are sign-ups for the rest of December, which is only 2 more Sundays. You can sign up on the sheet over there for next week or for the 30th. Reminder about next week is that we are going to do a potluck in celebration of Christmas next week. And so we encourage you to bring something to share when you come to join us next week. There's going to be an email going out today that is going to announce a couple of dates. In fact, it's already scheduled for noon. It's going to go out in an hour automatically. The dates are these. On January 6th, I want to do a visioning session for anyone who's interested in the future and the growth of this center, of this organization. We're not going to do it right after the celebration, but it is on a Sunday, and I think what I'm going to do is do it after hours at dedicated gluten-free bakery, where we can actually sit and have talk, do a visioning practice, and allow Spirit to take hold of what this wants to become as a community. The reason that I want to point out that it's not happening here is because there are some people who travel quite a distance, but I want to let anyone who travels a distance to know that we're also going to allow people to experience it through web conferencing. So if you leave here and you go home, you can actually log in online and experience the visioning that way as well. So anyone who's watching online, a link will be sent out a little bit later for everyone who wants to have that experience. The other date to keep in mind is January 27th, because if the Sunday is the 6th, 3 weeks after that would be 21 days, would be the 27th. I can do math. January 27th will be the first annual general meeting for Tucson New Thought. So as a nonprofit organization, officially a church, we are required every year to have a general meeting for the membership, and if you have not signed up for membership and would like to be a voting member at that meeting, we do have membership forms that are there. Again, I'm going to look at how we're going to facilitate that in a way that will service everyone the best, so it'll probably be right after the Sunday celebration, and we'll figure all of that out. But those dates, if you could just hold those in mind, those are happening in January. I want to thank, is there anything I'm forgetting? I'm looking to Dane because he put the emails together. Okay, I'm not forgetting any of that. So we do have prayer request forms. If you would like us to do some prayer work for you, you can fill out a form, put it into one of the baskets, and those get prayed upon. I want to say thank you to everyone who has made this experience today happen. I want to say thank you to Aiden for his help technically. Thank you to Stefan for providing us brilliant music today. I want to thank John and Spark Project Collective for providing us a Sunday home. I want to thank Marvis for greeting, and I want to thank Dane for all. Here's the thing about spouses of ministers. They don't know just how much work they're going to be expected to do. And I am so grateful for all the work and all the hours that he puts in to support this vision of his husband. I love you too. Sorry, I'm really emotional because I just am. So I guess I'm the one who brought hospitality today, so thank me. I brought some peanut butter chocolate blossoms from Dedicated that I actually made myself when they put me back in the kitchen. So for everyone to partake and enjoy. And I want to thank each and every one of you, because you are Tucson New Thought. You are this community. You are this. It's not me. It's us. And I'm so grateful for you and for your presence and for your love. All right, let's do this. Allow ourselves to come to a place of quiet resolution.
surrender. Let it go. Surrender. Let it all go. All the fear, all the doubt, all the pain, all the wounds, feelings of being alone. Surrender, let it go. Don't you know God is here? 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 Let it all go. Let it go. Let it all go. Cut loose the moorings. Stand in forgiveness and trust in the divine, reciprocal, and resilient nature of the creative. The only thing there is, God. I am firmly rooted in this understanding that there is only one power, there is only one presence, there is only one thing ever going on, and it is the infinite nature of divine creation happening by means of everything that exists. All that is God. Each and every one of us is God. There is nothing that is separate. There is only God. There is only good. There is only love. Trusting this and knowing this and allowing this to be at the forefront of my experience of life in every single moment, recognizing that the life I live is the life of God. The life that every single one of us lives is the life of God. We simply call it our own. I trust and know that I now take that leap of faith, cutting loose the moorings and allowing the perfect flow of life in that limitless sea of receptivity to take hold. I breathe into this, trusting, knowing, and allowing the good. For there is only this good. It is with gratitude in my heart, filling my entire beingness, that I simply relax, breathe, release, let go, and allow. As together we say, and so it is. Don't you know God is here? 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 Let it all go. Open your heart, invite in the light. Open your mind, surrender. Open your heart, invite in the light. Open your mind, surrender. Let it go. Let it all go. surrender. Let it go. Let's kick it up a notch as we take it out into the street with God Makes Me Want to Sing. There we go. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. I am loving every living thing. I can see the face of God in paupers and kings. But we're all precious, no one less or more, and we've all got the same treasure in store. That's why I'm loving every living thing. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. I'm believing in my guiding light, and no matter what comes, it always turns out right. I just dig down to how I feel. I take a deep breath and then grab the wheel. That's why I'm believing in my guiding light. Y'all gonna sing? I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. I can't help it, God makes me wanna sing. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. All right, piano solo. Here we go. Started with me, without me. Ready? Here we go. Here we go. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. It makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you so much.